She said to me, the magic words, I've been waiting for this my whole life, Geoff. The magic words, if you want anything, just let us know. We'll make it.
In a world desperate to tear itself apart, only one man, and some other people, stand in the way of total destruction. Together they will right the wrongs, make bad, good, and single-handedly destroy evil, together. Who is this man, you may ask? This man is Geoff.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Geoff Jones and Friends Make It Better, the show that takes one of life's little annoyances, gives them a microphone, a guest, and a podcast, and the unwavering ego to believe he can make absolutely everything better. Today, I am so excited to be joined by the next big thing in comedy, and I'm not afraid to say it, Mr. Andrew White. Andrew, how are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. What a lovely introduction. I wish more people would say it. But yes, I'm very grateful for that intro. Thank you. Yeah.
I've watching your stuff, and uh, it's clever, it's quick, it's craft. It's how no one could just like it. I'll tell you what. You tell us about it. So you've just finished your kind of UK mini tour of your work in progress, which is
hmm
Young, Gay, and a Third Thing.
Yes.
First of all, how's that gone?
It's gone well, thank you. Thank you for your kind words, by the way. We're really building up the unwavering ego required to tackle the following problem. But yeah, it was the show is good. I'm happy with it. It's so I've not really done a show in a couple of years. So I've sort of had 2 years to build this one up, and it's changed directions quite a lot. And I've worked with a director on and off a little bit for the first time ever. And yeah, I'm just really happy with how it's all shaped up. It's sort of I'm not doing a full Edinburgh Fringe run, and I sort of almost wish I was, just because I really do like the product I've got. But I'll be doing a mini tour after Edinburgh. So yeah, the work in progress, this building it all up was a really probably the most fun creative process I've had building up a show. And yeah, now I'm happy with it and very excited to take it on the road.
Oh, brilliant. And I do think as a creator, whether it's a comic or podcast or whatever it is you do, if you enjoy your product, if you like what you've done, then I think
Mm.
you've just got that good fit. Not only do you enjoy it when you perform it, but I don't people can sense that from you, and I think it builds to that experience for the audience as well. Good luck with the fringe. So, kind of have you got a base for the fringe? You're up there on the as of the 17th, right?
Yeah, so I'll go up on the 17th and my run starts on the 20th. I'm only doing 5 days because to register for 5 days is £100 cheaper than registering for 6 days. So I decided not to bother with the one extra day. Um, And yes, I will be at the Assembly Roxy in the Snug Bar, 20th to 24th August. And then after that, I'm going all over the country
Wow,
from the end of October till December.
fantastic! You must just be so excited.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I've never really done like I've done lots of work in progresses, and you do like the little festival circuits. You like the Shaftesbury Fringe, which is gorgeous little fringe, and Ventnor on the Isle of Wight, and they're really lovely. But also, there's a culture of we're gonna take a punt on people we don't know.
Mm.
Whereas this is the first time I'm like, hey, I'm coming to this place. It's just me. There's not a festival around me. Will you come and buy tickets to see just me? So yes, I'm very much building up my social media. I'm putting out so many clips trying to, if I can go viral before the tour starts, then I won't have to worry about selling 100 seats in Birmingham or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's worrying. I'm very anxious about sales and putting myself out there like that. But I am also very excited. It'll be cool to do the show and take it round.
Oh, so well, I mean, this will come out to kind of just for that. Unfortunately, probably just after your friends, because we're kicking off season three. So I didn't even, in my excitement to
Ooh,
have you on, I did.
congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yeah, this is the kickoff show for season three of Make It Better, and it's I know people are spirit, but I know I wish you the best of luck because people need to go and see it. I hope they're buying tickets. When I kind of during the promotion for this show, we'll get. I don't know if you've got promo bits of where you're going to be and websites, then we'll stick all that on it as well because as I say you're ahead of us, and I've been showing people ever since you've agreed to come on the show. I've been showing people. Do you know it's the it's the and I don't know if it's from the latest show or the previous show, but when you talk, sorry, you think about it. When you went to the club,
Oh yes, yeah,
uh, just
the
I
the
I
nightclub
was
experience. Yeah.
oh my goodness, I was crying with laughter. So for just the socials where you've got Andrew White Comedy on Facebook.
Hmm.
Where else can people find your work, the fun snippets, and kind of where you're going to be?
Yeah, pretty much everything else is stand up Andrew, youtube.com/stand up Andrew, stand up Andrew on TikTok, Instagram. I don't really use Twitter anymore. But yeah, all my shorter clips are on those platforms, and YouTube especially. If you want to watch that clip about the nightclub, there it is. It's clipped up in full on my YouTube page. So yeah, yeah, all those sort of places are the best place to find me.
Yeah, I urge everyone to. I'll be so it's well on my YouTube page. I'll add you as I don't know what they do, a featured show.
Oh yes, yeah, yeah.
I don't know the technical terms, but
Thank
we'll
you.
add you on there as well. So if people can find you easily through my YouTube, then yeah, then go look for it. Yeah, everyone just hunt Andrew down, and you will not be sorry. That also sounds a little
Very ominous.
so
Yeah,
quite
that
honest,
if
yeah, yeah, hunt him down. But no,
just
you will not be
no no
right.
no hunting required. Just Google. Everything's on my
Just
webpage.
Google.
Please don't sort of John Wick me. I'd appreciate
So,
that. Thank you.
oh, I mean, Google would have been a lot more a lot different if it was called Hunter. Well, that's what it says on the
Yeah.
tin, though. Uh,
I mean, that sounds more like a gay hookup app, to be
mm.
honest. But that's yeah.
Fair. Um, but oh, and I must touch it as well. You were recently on a bill with some like massive. Was it July with Nish?
Oh yes, yeah. It was a charity lineup at the Union Chapel. It was Nish Kumar, Felicity Ward, Joel Dommett, lots of other fantastic people that I'm forgetting. But yeah, that was a really fun night. I was meant to do it in 2020, and obviously nothing happened in 2020. So I
Uh,
did a digital version, which, as much as it was lovely to support the charity and be a part of their fundraising cause, obviously you want to be on the big stage with the big names. So I've been I've kept in touch with them, and then this year I was like, oh, maybe I could come back and do it in person, and they let me. So yeah, that was really fun.
Oh, I bet it was. And that's it. And that's the stuff that's going to get everyone getting their eyes on you, which is so richly deserved. Right.
Thank you.
And that's enough of inflating your ego. This show's all about me. And no, it's not. It's about making the world better one episode at a time. We tackle Eh, ah, we've tackled so much on this show. Everything from chronic shyness, PTSD, homelessness, but we've also done cinema, Marvel movies, um, the big the parking at the big Tesco in Ipswich. Like we cover anything and everything in the show because there's everyone's got things they want to moan about, and we're going to moan about some stuff. But at the end, we do have to make it better. The one the one caveat is it can't just be eradicated. So let's figure out where this goes. Please, Andrew White, what is it that we are making better today?
Well, I did consider some sort of parking thing, but I'm actually so angry about lots of parking stuff that I can't make it funny. This would just be a very bleak podcast of me reading out various parking appeals I've attempted over the years. So I've decided to come for a much lighter route, but something I'm still very passionate about: buffets, specifically like restaurant buffet, pay to go buffet, not like finger food. We can cover finger food buffets maybe, but specifically I'm thinking pizza Hut buffets, Chinese buffets, all cuisine buffets. Yeah, that sort of thing. Go in, pay for a slot time, and pick all your food. That's the thing I want to talk about.
That's okay. Well, let's let's get into it. What is it that kind of annoys you most about? I mean, because the buffet is a kind of staple of whether it is finger foods at a party or whatever or a restaurant. What is it about that restaurant buffet that annoys you the most?
Well, the thing is, I love a restaurant buffet. This is an episode that is fully built on love. That's why I want to improve it. That's why I want to make it better.
Ah,
I I particularly love a Pizza Hut buffet. It's fantastic value. They are struggling massively as a company, which does mean they regularly send me like £10 buffet vouchers. And to be honest, I honestly I feel bad. I feel like I'm contributing to their downfall just by the sheer amount of pizza I'm because it's not financially viable for them to keep inviting me back. But I keep going. I do love a Pizza Hut buffet, um, but I love all kinds of buffet. But there are problems. Um, well, number one, Pizza Hut's shutting down all over the place.
Yeah.
In-person restaurant sit-down Pizza Huts, we are experiencing a mass exodus from the high streets. I don't know if you noticed. Take a little look at your high street. It
Mhm.
has the Pizza Hut disappeared. 50%
Yes.
chance whoever's listening, your Pizza Hut's this big. If they're on a leisure centre or sort of like a shopping area that's designated outside of the city, they kind of have fared a bit better. But high street Pizza Huts, Salisbury's gone, Bournemouth's gone. They're falling like flies. I blame the previous Tory government personally. Margaret Thatcher shut down the steel factories. Theresa May, David Cameron, and whatnot shut down the ice cream
The-
factories. That's my theory. But yeah, so number one, pizza buffets are disappearing. They are harder to come by. Also, they have very annoying hours, and also, okay, we'll start with pizza buffets. We won't get into the other buffets just yet.
Okay.
Number one, very annoying hours: 1 to 3 p.m., 12 to 3 p.m. rather. Um, I always just miss it. I always think, oh, I should go to a buffet, and it's like 2:45 or something. I don't have time for it. So an extension of just an hour would make a massive difference. Um, obviously they're all shutting down. That's sad. I'd like more in-person sit-down Pizza Huts. And the other thing that is very annoying about them is they have tiered pricing. Weekdays, Monday through to Friday, it is one price. Saturday and Sunday, it is another price.
Which is, let me
Which is
guess,
also
more expensive.
yeah, it is 17.99 on a Monday to Friday. Um, when I said at the top of this podcast that I can't talk about parking because I'm so passionate about it I can't make it funny.
You,
I think the same is happening with
you've
pizza buffets actually.
this is an
I've,
impassioned start to
yeah,
this. Make
I'm
it
sure this
better.
is your podcast, Jeff. I'm not letting you get a word in. I'm
That's
just
that. Please, the less I speak, the better the episode. Please continue.
I didn't realize I had this much to say about pizza. This is only the pizza buffet. This isn't all buffet content. This is specifically one restaurant. That's really embarrassing. This isn't even the first podcast I've talked about pizza buffets on. Jeez, this is really embarrassing. Yeah, so 17.99 on a weekday, Monday through to Friday, gets you all you can eat pizza, all you can eat salad, and limited salads obviously included with everything. So you can buy an individual like salad bowl for 6.99. What pervert is doing that? That's so bizarre. Also, actually, okay, no, I'll come back to that. I'll finish what you get. 17.99 pizza, salad, and ice cream factory. That is the key. And
Mm.
refillable drink. Refillable drink, ice cream factory, pizza, salad, 17.99. It's very good value. They regularly send me emails for £10 buffets. It's even better value. So I love the value of it. Um, I mentioned about perverts who just buy the salad bowl. The other thing that is perverted at a pizza Hut buffet is looking over to other tables and seeing them eat individual ordered pizzas. They've remembered, well, maybe they've not remembered, it's clearly not crossed their mind. They've gone to pizza in buffet hours and ordered a single pizza. It's not economical. The pizza you have just ordered for the same price, you can just because you're not there's no limit. If you want a pepperoni pizza, don't order a pepperoni pizza. Wait for them to bring out a pepperoni pizza to the buffet table and take all of
And
the
take it.
slices. There's nothing to stop you taking all of the slices.
I mean, etiquette.
No, etiquette is out of the window at a buffet. This, um, I genuinely think it's every man for it's a Hunger Games situation, literally a Hunger Games
Uh,
situation at a buffet, right? There are no rules. It is the survival of the fittest, especially if you are on a pizza rotation in somewhere like Pizza when they're like rotating the pizzas
mm,
and you see, oh, I fancy a bit of that pepperoni. I'll just go get some pasta and circle back to it. The pasta will always be there. Grab the pepperoni. You don't know who's going to go for it. As soon as you see something you want, you got to snipe it. Otherwise, you're waiting 5, 6 minutes for that to replenish. And
yeah.
that's a lot of buffet. You're wasting good buffet time. It's every man for himself at a Pizza Hut buffet, I'm
I
afraid.
have the strategy behind it as well. I've never I don't think, but I suppose everyone subconsciously does have a strategy for a buffet.
Yeah,
I
what's your strategy?
Well, I learned the hard way. And this is something that's traumatized me for about maybe 10 years, that I went to an all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet, which was based in Portsmouth and closed down. The rumors are obviously because of, I don't know, tainted food or something like that, or not passing
Mhm.
hygiene test. Hey, I went there twice, it was fine. But I went there and I saw the food that I liked. The stuff that's got the carb content, and you've got all of the, I don't know, things in pastries and stuff like that. And I went and had a load of them. And then when I went for the more lighter things, yeah, maybe I don't know, a bit of noodle or something more, yeah, with the fuller flavors, I'd filled
Mhm.
up on the wrong
Yeah.
things. They should be the finish. And I was so excited about going, and I didn't do myself justice, and it's traumatized me in a way kind of I just can't really explain. So yeah, I did it the wrong way. So now I always go for, like, now in the case of a pizza buffet, it's a case of I'm getting at least one or two of everything that I like. Just get it in
Yeah.
as quickly as possible. Um,
Agreed.
and yeah, just I don't care if I look like a pig. Everyone's doing it.
Exactly, exactly. There is also, this is a very important element at any buffet, is to remove any shame barrier. Now, I'm a slightly bigger guy, and I'm not enormous, but I walk into a buffet, and the buffet workers are thinking, okay, let's minimize this
Yeah.
guy's impact
But,
on our business.
they're not like, we need another pepperoni down. Like,
No, no, they don't want to service to me. They
wow.
want to hinder me, and maybe not in pizza, but pizza, I think they're a bit more neutral about customer, judgment. But especially like Chinese buffets in London, there's one in the West End that I regularly go to, and I walked in. Every time I've gone in there, they've sat me downstairs as far away as possible from the. I literally have to climb upstairs to go and get my food, so then I've got to carry a plateful back downstairs, back to my table. They've given me the like creakiest chair. So every time I get up, it's like, so everyone knows I'm going to get food. They are like playing a psychological
Yeah.
warfare to make me not go and get that food. And I know, and maybe I sound crazy, but every time I've gone in there, they sat me um, right in the corner, right downstairs, as far away as possible. I went there with Jake Young, previously been on this podcast.
Yeah.
Jake Young, stick thin. He's a twig of a man, right? It's a miracle he doesn't blow away in the wind. He goes to the restaurant. We're going to have food there. He gets there before me. They sit him right next to the buffet, right next to
Oh,
the buffet. Arrive second. I'm like, oh, I see how it is. All my suspicions have been confirmed. It's not a conspiracy. It's the truth.
that first of all, maximum respect for going to a restaurant like that on your own anyway.
Yes,
Like, and not enough people go to restaurants on their own. I'm a big advocate for it. But yeah, well, Jake, they don't like. Jake probably walks in and they do think, oh, he actually needs a bit of a bit of beefing up. Bless him.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
But that's a clearly obvious sign that they're hindering. And I know that, it's a deal. And they need to get their money's worth and things like that. I mean, what I say about the Pizza Hut
Mm,
one, if they are
mm,
giving free refills or as part of the price, that's probably why they're going under, because the markup on fizzy drinks is where most companies kind of recoup loads of money, because post mix is so cheap and it's just fizzy water. So if they're giving that away,
yeah.
just throwing it all at you, they're bathing you in it. I
Mm.
mean, that's throwing full. That's a bad business model.
Well, I do agree. Maybe from the capitalistic point of view, they are not maximizing their profits on the buffet. However, from a moral, human point of view,
Mm,
any post mix should be dirt cheap and it should be free
it
refills.
should
In
be.
America, soft drinks are like as standard free refills. And I think we should adopt that over here. Because you're right, it's pennies, like a cup of post mix Pepsi is probably less than a penny.
It is,
But
yeah.
when you go to somewhere like Subway, and I've had this before with some very sort of aggressive Subway workers, when they're like, "Oh no, it's not
It's just-
it's not free refills." I'm like, well, number one, why the fuck do you care, right? What? Number two, if it's not free refills, then don't give the machine open access, right? I'm not serving myself and also limiting myself. If you want to pour me a drink and limit me to 1 cup, fine. Stick it behind the counter where I can't get to it. If you're going to leave it out in the open, I'm going to refill that drink. And as we've mentioned, it's less than a penny a cup. Honestly, like, get over yourselves.
And also, you're not getting paid to care. Like, it's why did
Mm.
what I did? I went to the cinema the other day. So this is
Yeah.
just on the post mix, and there was a couple of young ladies. I think they may have been. Fine, obviously, Portsmouth is a big student town. I think they may have been for mainly because I speak no other languages and I didn't understand what they were saying. But they and I think at the time it annoyed me, but actually now what you're saying it makes like again I'm so old and I just get annoyed by things that I shouldn't care about. Hence a podcast where I'm trying to make it look like I'm putting better into the world. But so they like filled up a cup, which they'd obviously purchased in their machine, and drunk it next to the machine, and then tried filling it up again. Couldn't. After I filled up my drink, they went in where I had and tried to see if I had a refill on it. And first of all, I was like, well, if I've got a refill on it, then you stealing my refill, like for so back off from that.
Mm.
But obviously, they just were under the understanding it was probably a free refill because why wouldn't it be a free refill? And at the time, I
Mm.
was like, how dare you try and steal my free refill? But actually, no, it should be free refill anyway. But yeah, and they're sneaky because you know what they've got on there. And I had whilst I was waiting for the film to start because obviously I'm a large gentleman as well, so I ate all of my nachos and drank all my drink before the trailers. If I'm completely
Mm.
honest with you,
Mm. It's always the way, yeah.
it's what you have to do. And I had a little look, and there's some on the bottom. There's some kind of I don't know magnetic thing, which obviously gives the one drink. And so that's why the machine you can't refill it because it's I don't know, deactivated after you've done it. So
Jeff,
that
Jeff,
technology must be more
I've heard
expensive than
rumor.
giving a free refill.
100%. I've heard rumor. I've seen videos, especially in like Disney World in America. You have to have a QR code. You scan the QR code, it allows 1 pour of drink, right? I'm like, that's bullshit. But now you're telling me it's here in Portsmouth.
In the
I
View
live in
Cinema,
Portsmouth now.
the View Cinema in Portsmouth, they've done a lovely refurb on it. They still have the lovely but extremely slow, extremely painfully slow. You're going there because you're watching a film
Mhm.
and they're the slowest. I was like, I'm gonna miss the for me a trip to the cinema. And I had this conversation with Jake actually, Jake Young.
I
Um,
listened to the episode, yes.
yeah, well, it starts at the trailers. No one cares about the adverts, but
Mhm.
the experience starts at the trailers. And you make me miss those trailers because you're too busy. I don't know, spinning hot dogs and just having a good old chin wag. Like, just give me my popcorn, give me my nachos, give me my drink, give me my Skittles, give me my M&Ms, and I'll be out your hair.
Yeah.
And I kind of got a little bit lost in what I was saying in that. But
No, I totally agree.
yeah,
Just to stay on this sort of like sidetrack from buffets because I think this is adjacent with food service. And look, bless them. I do not blame the workers of Subway, of View, of anywhere. They're not being paid enough. They're not being trained enough. They're not being supported enough.
yeah,
Sure, but I implore these companies to just implement some processes and train staff and pay staff to because it's so sometimes you see people you're stood there waiting for your popcorn and they're like go over 1 bucket, fill up the popcorn, they come back and they go, oh god, to the other bucket, go over there. That's 1 trip. You can do that in 1 trip. You've got 2 hands, you can carry both buckets of popcorn. I cannot believe the inability to like process things. It's not even inability. I just think they don't care, which is fair enough. But yeah, it is frustrating, and especially when you're like, oh, I got to get in there and see the trailers.
yeah. That's it. And then they're like, here you go, here's your drink. One. And they got to pay for their big refurb somehow. But you know, I just think it's because it's so expensive to go anywhere.
Hmm.
It is. Kind of coming back to so Pizza Hut. I mean, their business model is obviously, yeah, they were probably trying to batter on through because Pizza Hut's always been a strong name. I'll be honest. The one, so I'm over in Havant, so about 9 miles out of Portsmouth, and the
Hmm.
Pizza Hut disappeared many moons ago,
Yeah.
a few years back, and yeah, it was a sad day.
I'm
Because
sorry
yeah,
for your loss. Yeah.
it, looking back, it was an emotional time because it
Mm.
was an institute of the of the community. Um, yeah, but yeah, you go, especially into school, always busy, lot of fun, busy
Yes.
hustle. School
Hmm.
when the summer holidays come, that last day you take, you treat your kids to a slap up uh pizza. But yeah, I feel
Well,
tad emotional
I
now.
implore people to go out to the pizza, support your local pizza. I should be saying support. I don't know something, but something actually meaningful. But no, go and support your local
So
pizza. And I know we all avoided it. I know we do not want to give our details at checkouts, our emails, whatever. Sign up because they are desperate to get people come to back to Pizza Hut. I get £10 buffet vouchers, kids buffet free with an adult buffet. If you've got family to feed, they do offer good incentives on their mailing list. I shouldn't admit that I'm on the Pizza Hut mailing list, but I am, and it's great value. And the thing I really love about a buffet, and it sort of ties back to the problems you have at the View, is that it is a personless interaction. Once they've given
Mm.
you, because you order on the app. First of all, it's all QR codes now, so you don't even have to ask a person to order. All they have to do is bring you your cup for your drink and your bowl for your ice cream, and you're away. You can just do what you want. You can be left on your own. You can take your time with it. I'm going to have a 15. I've done it before. I've had a pizza buffet just 2 weekends ago because I'm gigging. I gig quite a lot. I'm gigging all over the country. It's a great lunch spot, right? So killing time. I'll just have a bit of pizza. Have a 20-minute break. Just sit
Mm.
on my phone. 20 minutes. Go back to the pizza. I will say they're not as amenable to that in like a busy buffet. But if you've got like a little leisurely, as we've established, under supported pizza buffet, go enjoy yourself. It's a really it's a form of self care. It really is. It's sort of up there with spa days, I think.
It's
Yeah.
I've never had a
And
spa
the
day.
other thing is,
Yeah,
there's two ends of the pizza buffet spectrum. Um, is that you could some people think like, oh, I don't want to go to a busy buffet because then there'll be lots of competition for the pizza. Yes, it can be a bit frenetic, but if it's a busy buffet, they're also turning over pizza very quickly.
yeah.
So either you need to go to a busy buffet where like the pizza you want is going to come back around in 2-3 minutes, or you go to a dead buffet. I went into the one I went into 2 weeks ago. I was pretty much the only person having the buffet, and she said to me, "The magic words. I've been waiting for this my whole life, Geoff. The magic words. If you want anything, just let us know. We'll make it." At that
Wow.
point, it's barely even a buffet. It's just me for free, effectively. I know I've paid money for it, but for free, effectively, in my mind, ordering unlimited pizza. I say that,
Wow.
well, like, yes, actually, I'd like to have this, this, and this, and like they were non-traditional buffet things. They were like goat's cheese and caramelized onion. Normally, they do the bog standard for the buffet, and they were like, yeah, we'll put that through.
So
Start bringing out, brought it all to the buffet plate.
for a lunchtime, you kind of had your very own Pizza Hut chef just at your
Exactly.
at your whim, and that's a dream, right? Be rich, be
Mhm.
famous. You're gigging everywhere, and you've just got a fully qualified Pizza Hut chef just following you all around the country, all around the world, just making whatever
Mhm.
pizzas you want. That's a
It's
dream right
great.
there.
It's great. I will
What?
but before I go on for the entirety of this podcast about pizza buffets, I will just quickly say a quick note on buffet strategy with Pizza Hut especially. Don't bother with your crusts. If
Yeah,
you're trying to get value for money, just eat the delicious stuff and leave the crusts.
yeah. Have it. Your last slice, so your last two slices, just go for the
Hmm.
because I mean the crust essentially was just to hold it. It was just a device to hold the pizza when it was first kind of created, wasn't it? Like your
Hmm.
your British pasty, that crust. But they've made it all nice and delicious now. I'm not, and do you know what? I will not be forced. It's especially if you just going in and buying a frozen pizza. It's very difficult to find them now, apart from the real dirt cheap ones that haven't got stuffed crust. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate stuffed crust if you're in the mood for stuffed crust is it's fine, right? A lot of people like stuffed crust. You got your tomato, your cheese, your hot dog. That's fine. But I don't always want that. And to find one in your local, in a supermarket without a stuffed crust, which isn't cheap, it's just a cheap flat thing, it's nearly
Yeah.
impossible. And I'm considering writing. letters, maybe a column like in the Daily Mail or something about how the filled crust is just taking over the UK, and it's probably contributing a lot to some of the problems that we're seeing at the moment.
I think so. I
But
think a lot of the civil unrest is from stuffed crust pizzas. Actually, I think you're right.
mm,
Yeah, I mean, I
no,
do
no
like
one's
a stuffed
talking
crust
about
pizza, but
it.
you're
So
right.
that's how you. No one's talking about it. That's how you know.
Yeah.
That's how you know. If no one's talking about it, you know that's probably the real problem.
Yeah, because they're pointing us this way with
Mm-hmm.
politics and war and stuff, but actually we should be looking the other way towards
Which
the stuffed crusts.
that's it.
That's media literacy 101, I believe. Yes, yeah.
So what? Right. Okay. One thing I do need to say. So yeah, you're quite. Oh my god, I was going to use the word savage. That's not the word. No, you're quite militant when you go into. Yeah, you've got your strategy. You go in.
Mm.
It's all for one for all. You just get in there, get what you need, and elbows. Just as long as you get like because I don't like generally buffet people. I'm talking not the ones where you sit down and order, but the ones where
Mm.
everyone's conveyor belting. So I was recently on a cruise with my wife for our wedding anniversary, and first time I've ever done this. A short kind of 4 days to Guernsey. It was lovely. I was annoyed because I had this thing in my head that it was all like 90-year-old couples playing bingo and like backgammon. I learned backgammon and no one was playing backgammon. And they said, oh, yeah, the average age is usually 76, but on this one it's 52. There was a hen do. There was Shaz's
Mm.
60th birthday. I didn't want that. I wanted old people talking to me about the good old days and
Hmm.
playing some bingo. But anyway, that's what. But there was this, there's different restaurants, and there was like a buffet every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you didn't want to kind of go off and do the fancy thing, and the food was fantastic. So we had some, the breakfast the first day and lunch there whilst we were scouting out. We didn't need to go anywhere else because we didn't want to have to be seated with other people anyway. Um, and so we did, but what you find is you kind of it's all animal instinct, and people just get in, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm a British guy, and I will get at the back of the queue. I'll wait, and I'll put some potatoes on. Do you know what? I don't fancy some green beans, so the next dish is going to be me cauliflower cheese. But I have to wait for the person in front of me and their person in front to get to it. And then all of a sudden you get a person probably called, I don't know, Doris or Reginald, and they just lean over. Sorry, can I just grab this? No, that's not the etiquette. Get to the back, queue through. If you don't get everything you need, you get back to the back of the queue and you start again because of politeness and etiquette. Like, if I don't care how much you eat, just remember your manners. There you go. That's my
I will say, Jeff, I respect that. I can see why that would be annoying. However, you corrected yourself earlier. You said, "Oh no, not savage. That's not the right word." No, it is the right word. It is savage. You're playing a mugs game, Jeff. It's a buffet situation. You get the food you want. Go direct to that food thing. Why are we messing about with some conveyor belt system? Like, especially if it's because there's a lot of buffet restaurants, like I'm imagining, from your description, is it's just like dish all the way around in like sort of a semicircle or sort of half unclosed
yeah,
off
yeah.
square. Yeah, that's designed for open access. The queuing system is ridiculous. Like you're in a canteen or something. No, it's not. It's a buffet. It's an entirely different beast. You've just got to go straight for what you want. And
But
I
you just
respect
have
Doris. I respect Reginald.
because then if it was right, I need to get the cauliflower cheese. Oh, this is now the queue for cauliflower cheese, though. It would be mayhem. There's that
No, that's
that
fine. That makes perfect
violence.
sense. You queue for the specific thing. If the queue forms behind, the cauliflower cheese, then obviously you can introduce manners and politeness there. But why just queue to look at what's available?
Because then
It's inefficient.
you've then got to queue for your green beans and for your meat if you wish. And I mean, look, but and also, what if you miss something, right? Okay, look, I can feel we've got some similarities, but we've got a little bit of contention there. Like
Yeah.
one, one, one of the meals they had like this food from around the world thing, and on one plate
Yeah.
I had a lovely spirally German sausage type thing.
Oh, nice.
I had some Rogan Josh and Chinese style noodles, right,
Yeah.
with a nice little dollop of mashed potato. Like I went kind of. It was just a food orgy on this plate. Now, if
Yeah.
I had just thought, oh, I see the Rogan Josh, I'm just going to get that, and I'm going to get some rice, and I'll just be in this area, then I could have missed spiral German sausage and my
Mhm.
China, and I definitely wouldn't have had. I wouldn't have even thought about queuing up for mashed potatoes.
Well, I think the two fronts there is, what if you miss something? It's a buffet. You go
You go
back. You can go
back.
back.
Of
Easy
course, you
solution.
just go back. Yeah. Okay.
Number two, and I think it's very important for any buffet strategy, is immediately do a recce of the situation, right? Your first trip should not be with plate in hand. Your first trip should be with a notebook, ideally. Really start strategizing, planning things out.
Yeah.
In like a pizza Hut buffet situation, for example, you want to go see, okay, they've got this out. The cheese pizza has 5, 6 slices left. That's not going to rotate for a while. The pepperoni's down to one slice. Great. I'll give that a minute and it'll be fresh, piping hot. Yeah, I think you just need a bit more forward planning.
Yeah.
Um,
And
yeah,
also,
there is a gone.
oh, sorry, I was just going to say also, everyone knows the etiquette at a buffet situation is looking at other people's plates is fine because
Hmm.
how it's kind of like a share. Not you're not sharing the food, but you're sharing the ideas of what other people have, and you kind of have to be proud of what you've got on your plate. And it's I didn't see actually that they had a Kafka, so I'll get that my next time round. Um,
Yeah, it's great. It's a beautiful open access thing. Yeah, there is a struggle here. Is that uh, other people have to be involved in the buffet process. Obviously, if you go to like the pizza buffet I had the other week and it's just you, what a dream. That if to suggest something to make the buffets better, that would be it. Just a solo buffet. I know it's very wasteful and not economical, but that would be my dream. But yeah, there is a problem. As much as I feel very passionately about all this, I do concede that it is difficult to cooperate with other people because other people are illogical,
mm,
emotional. Then some of them, it might be their first time having a buffet.
confusing.
It is a true leveling experience. It's the great leveler of our times. The buffet, everyone's there. They're all going for the food, and it doesn't matter whether it's your first time or your 100th time. That's the situation
Yeah.
you've got in front of you. So
I,
yes, as much as I feel very passionate about etiquette, it can't be enforced all the time. So yes, that
it's
is
not,
that is a problem.
and especially if it's your first time at an establishment and you say, "Oh, it's a buffet. Nice, I'm going to go and have a buffet." You've kind of known what there's different types of buffet. Yeah, you've got your sit down and kind of essentially order. You've got your just free for all situation. They've got a bit over like it can be overwhelming for someone. I mean, I know it's not a
Mm.
buffet situation, but I've been to Nando's once because I walked in. My wife, and two friends. None of us had ever been to Nando's, and we walked in, Nando's in Gunwharf in Portsmouth, and they said, "Oh, hi guys, right? So you've been here before, so go sit down." And we're like, "Oh no, we've never been here," and the panic on this
Hmm.
poor young lady's face that I need to get the book out because I haven't had to explain Nando's to anyone for a long time, right?
Hmm.
This is the same with the buffet experience. Like, well, I've been to a buffet before. Oh, hang on, this isn't the same. This isn't um your Premier in breakfast buffet situation. This is a whole different beast. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, people need to be treated with a bit more care when it comes and consideration. Just because buffets have been around for a long time doesn't mean that everyone is comfortable with every specific style of buffet.
That is a very good point, actually, and thank you for bringing up the breakfast buffet. I completely forgot that from my considerations. Um, I'll remind me to talk about my dream meal day, my dream day in terms of food.
I'm
Yeah,
looking
maybe
forward
there
to it.
sort of needs to be some sort of government funding towards buffet awareness. If we could sort of like have, because you have like enterprise days at schools and
Yeah.
like for a week or enterprise week or something, and they have all the classes get together and they like try to build a business based on their French or
Mm.
their geography exams, and it gives them experience about building a business, about
Yeah.
economics, all that sort of stuff. Something like that, but for buffets. That's some sort of initiative. Just get in early at the schools, primary school level and secondary level, just so that when they go into the world, whether that's via higher education or just straight into
Yeah.
the workforce, they come in with a basic understanding of buffet. I think that would
I,
make the world a lot better.
yeah, I mean, it could be done as a certificate. I mean, you could do a GCSE
Hmm.
on, or maybe not that. Maybe like an A level. You could have a couple of A levels in buffet theory,
Yeah,
buffet production, buffet design, or maybe they all form part of one course. I don't know. I'm not the education minister. That's for them to decide. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I think a bit more awareness. Oh yeah, I what qualifications do you have? Oh, I actually have my level two MVQ in um buffet strategy and etiquette. Wow, you
Exactly.
know a lot about buffets. Yes, I do. Hire me. Um,
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, shove it into PSHE or something. Just a little bit to give us a shared understanding. And you know what? Like you say about you mentioned on MVQ and buffet strategy. Genuinely, my eyes lit up. If everyone knew how to buffet the most efficient way, there would be minimal food wastage. There would be maximum enjoyment. you know but businesses can plan better. They'll be profiting better because they'll be like, oh, this entire buffet service tonight is going to be well qualified, well trained people,
mm,
and we can plan exactly for that. It's better for the environment, it's better for food wastage, it's better for the economy, it's better for the happiness of this entire nation.
right. And what you have is the companies then take their extra revenue because you've got happy customers who return more, tell everyone. They come back, and then businesses earn more. And obviously, we would like to think they'll then think, well, do you know what I'm going to do is we're going to start maybe going local produce. So
Hmm.
get the local farms for each area that goes back into the community. Everyone's healthier because it's less of this kind of mass produced food. But also you've got the punters. They're happy. They're going to go in about their day. Happy
Mm.
families. People are going to go out with full bellies after having a pleasant experience, and they are then putting joy out into the world, which would then have a knock-on effect. And everyone all of a sudden is why is the happiness of the UK, for example, increased so
Mm.
much in the last 4 years? Oh, is it the new government? No, it's because buffet
Hmm.
etiquette has made made it better.
Yeah, and people might be listening to this thinking, well, that's silly, just hyperbole and being comedic, or whatever. You have to understand that happiness in the UK is at an all-time low. We are miserable as a nation.
Mm,
Something as small as better buffet etiquette would really make, in terms of percentage increase, a big difference.
I
This
think it
is
would.
serious stuff. Mm,
It is, and we know it makes sense because no one's talking about it. So
exactly. Media literacy 101. No one's talking about it.
I right, I need to hear about your perfect day of buffeting,
Oh yes,
buffetage.
yes. Also, genuinely, Jeff, I thought this would be like a 20-minute jaunt about my thoughts about buffet, and
Yes.
I've got so much stuff I've left unsaid. I just want to respond to something from like 20, 30 minutes ago that I've been holding in my head about, going to restaurants on your own. Actually, buffet is probably one of the best restaurants to go to on your own. Um, I prefer it on my own, unless I'm going with somebody who also knows buffet etiquette. I prefer a solo buffet. But the other thing is, if you're worried about looking like a loner, you can just put another plate out
Mm,
opposite you and pretend they've gone to look at the buffet.
yeah.
So I'm not my own, but wife's just doing a recce.
They're
Um,
they're they're up,
so yeah,
and then you just move the plates around after.
exactly. It's
It saves
it's
a
the
trip as
easiest.
well.
Yeah, it's the easiest restaurant pantomime to perform. But yes, Dream Day. And I didn't, this was no consideration until you mentioned the Premier Inn breakfast buffet.
Mm,
Is it the best breakfast buffet? I don't know, but it's pretty good. I've had a Hilton breakfast buffet, actually. That was very luxurious and nice. But either way, Dream Day, breakfast buffet, Pizza Hut buffet for breakfast, obviously, Pizza Hut buffet for lunch, with drink and ice cream factory. Then for dinner, I want a world buffet. I want
mm,
every cuisine known to man, under one roof, cooked to mediocre quality. That's what I want. That's my dream, with a desserts section that has a chocolate fountain.
Ah, with some almost ripe or just past ripe fruits. Yeah, like
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
strawberries.
That are really wet for some reason. It's confusingly wet fruit. Yes,
Confusing,
that's exactly what I want.
confusingly wet fruit. Now that is the name of a band that I would pay money to watch. That's uh oh, I had a point, and it's got. I mean, but that is the perfect. Oh, so this is what also why a world buffet is, I think, probably one of the greatest inventions ever. Right. So you have a
Mhm.
like I have an Italian restaurant. Right. My favorite Italian restaurant is in Hemsworth. It's called Nicolino's. It's just a marvel whenever you eat there. Right. It's the nicest Italian food I've ever eaten. I've not been to Italy, but I'm sure it's no, it's not. I'm
Yeah.
sure. But anyway, the I know. Oh, shall we book to go to Nicolino's next week? Right. I don't mind that because I know I'm going to enjoy the food. However,
Hmm.
I don't know what I fancy to eat generally until the day.
Hmm.
So saying to someone, "Oh yeah, should we go to a restaurant that only does one type of food?" Oh yeah, what today? No, no, I want to go. Next Friday. What am I going to want to eat then? I don't know. Do you know what I want to eat? No.
Hmm.
Making
Yeah.
judgments. So if I've got everything, then I'm happy.
Yeah, I think that's really because I'm similarly. I, I have to really be in the mood for certain foods, and like my friends Joe and Danica will really tell you that like if we make a plan for a meal and then the restaurant we're going to is closed, like it will just completely throw off
Mm.
my. Well, what do we want instead? Like I don't. There is no other option. This is all I wanted, and yeah, the buffet completely mitigates all of that. And like I'm always in the mood for pizza, so pizza buffet is always fine as well. It comes under that same acceptable. Oh yeah, I can have this at any time category.
Yeah, I did. I think pizza is a safe win most of the time. My
Yeah.
son, he's 17. He goes to the gym 6 days a week, and 5 days a week he will go from the gym to Aldi to get his favorite pizza, which he will have. And I'll kind of say to him, "Is there a point?" Oh, I suppose going to the gym helps him subsidize the pizza addiction he obviously has. But pizza's a massive win. I mean, this what has impressed me so much is that for roughly 30 minutes, we've spoken about buffet, largely about the Pizza Hut buffet. Um,
Yes, I've still got more thoughts. I'm holding them in,
you
but go
said,
on.
okay, I mean, I'm more concerned for your time. I mean, what? Let's keep going, and then I think there's always been some good ideas how we're going to make it better, but we'll do a roundup at the end.
Mhm.
What else? I'm excited to hear more thoughts on the buffet.
Well, I comes to a very specific element of the buffet, and this isn't exclusive to buffet, but it's obviously very prevalent in the pizza Hut buffet, but also in restaurants like Harvester, and that is a salad bar, which is in a way a mini buffet. Now, because if I go to a Harvester, the salad bar is my favorite part. I love going to pick and choose the control.
Really?
I think there is a psychological element of like control and power and like complete autonomy that I really enjoy. There's no worry about like sending something back or like, oh God, I have to have this. No, you
Mm,
just go and get what you want, and there's no limit on it. Gorgeous. Now, Pizza Hut buffet and Pizza Hut in general. This isn't just buffet hours. All times their salad bar. They used to have. I don't know if you remember this, Jeff. Pizza Hut rebranded very briefly in an effort to sell their pastas as Pasta Hut.
they did.
This is some people sort of have this Mandela effect with it. Let me see if I can
Yeah.
find the exact year of it actually. Pasta
Yeah.
Hut
I mean,
rebrand. They did in 2008. They tried. They were like, um, there's like an advert, and they'd be like, oh, this pasta's so good, they should call themselves Pasta Hut, and that's the advert they attempted, and it's like, no, stay in your lane, right? Um, But for some reason, I guess maybe the markup's really good or something. They've kept trying to push their pasta. They've kept trying to improve their pasta offering, and it's like, no, I don't go there for pasta.
Mm.
But what they did in an attempt, actually, no, not confirmed, but this is my theory, in an attempt to sell more pastas, is they removed the pasta salad from the salad bar, and that was my favorite aspect of the salad bar. Now, around the same time, Harvester changed their pasta recipe in the pasta salad in the salad bar, and I was like, "Oh, that's a shame. I used to really like it." And then a couple of weeks later, Pizza Hut removed the pasta entirely, which completely threw my world into a tears. So, as much as I'd like to blame the Conservative government and the lack of local support for Pizza Huts, I also think they have engineered some of their own downfall with
Mm.
obsessing over pasta and removing pasta from their salad bar. That is a great shame.
It is, yeah. They had a good thing, and they just tried making a leap to other Italian-based food or origin food, and
Mhm.
I do feel like the people pushed back. No, we
Yeah.
if we want pasta, we will go to somewhere that's maybe more specific or
Yeah, like go to your lovely Emsworth Italian restaurant or something. You know, a,
exactly.
a, a pasta is a grown-up restaurant offering. If you've got crayons, you can't serve ragu, right? That's restauranteering 101.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And someone got paid an awful lot of money at the top of Pizza Stroke Pasta Hut. Right. Also, and this is, look, I have nothing but love for Pizza Hut. So it's been an awfully long time. I actually thought when my one went, like usually where I live, it's like the last bastion of any chain. There's still a Wimpy on Hayden Island about yeah
Yes.
4 miles from where I'm sat right now.
And Clarence Pier as well, down on the South Sea beachfront, and there's one in Swanage as well. But yes, Wimpy's a go. Sorry, yeah,
Wimpy's
carry on.
going. But I thought when the Pizza Hut ran my way went, I thought, oh, well, Pizza Hut's now gone. I didn't realize
Mhm.
that they were still places and they're now suffering. Otherwise, I would have had to sort them out. But
Mhm.
what I have always wondered is, pizza, I understand. Hut, right? But not pizza mansion or pizza castle or pizza waterside apartment. It's a hut,
Mm.
which always kind of made me think, what am I going? Is a hut to me is just like a little shack in probably the woods where animal feces unkept, some old lawnmower equipment, things like
Mhm.
that. Maybe some rabbits strung. I don't know. It just I don't want to go to a hut.
Well, as the UK's premier Pizza Hut advocate, I would say in defence of my dear friends that under promise, over deliver. If they were called Pizza
Mhm.
Palace and you went and had a mediocre experience, you'll never go back. You'll go, well, I had such high expectations for this palatial
Yeah, it makes that
pizza
sense.
experience, whereas a hut, if you have a great time, you psychologically are thinking, "Oh, I've discovered a little gem here, a
Mm.
hut, literally a hut hidden away right next to a big B&Q. I found this hut that's serving a glorious pizza experience. Now I've found this gem all on my own. I will forever enjoy it."
Okay. That you are the person in the know. I cannot. I mean, it makes sense. It's yeah, you sold it to, and it actually, I don't know if you've applied to run Pizza Hut, but I feel like there's a real strong case for you to just lay out the business ideas that have just been covered in the last kind of 40 minutes,
Mm.
and the advertising as well. Like I could see the advert of a young family next to they come out of the woods and they see the B&Q sign, and next to it this little hut, and they walk in and just have the best. They've got the crayons, there's no ragu, they've got all the pizza that they want, they leave happy.
Yeah,
Like it writes itself, yet they're trying to throw us a pasta hut.
yeah, yeah. It's a great shame, really. But hopefully, they can right themselves. Maybe thanks to this podcast, people will go out and find their nearest Pizza Hut and not Pizza Hut Delivery, by the way. They are separate entities, and I know that because
All
I used to
right.
work for Pizza Hut Delivery. I do still enjoy Pizza Hut Delivery because ultimately it's still the same ingredients, but they are separate businesses. So don't think by ordering Pizza Hut Delivery that you are supporting a
Mm.
brick and mortar Pizza Hut. That's not
That
necessarily true.
that actually that message, I think that's an important soundbite, which I'll probably clip up because I don't think enough people are aware of that. And because of the convenience of home delivered food, they're thinking they're getting Pizza Hut, but actually it's not contributing to the profits of Pizza Hut because it's a separate entity. I don't think maybe enough
Yeah.
people are aware of that. Actually, so that's an important point.
No, but you can get Pizza Hut restaurant delivered. You just have to look out. First of all, it'll be a slightly different menu, which will be your first sign. They won't have like weird sides, like you know, like nachos or whatever. So nachos is a Pizza Hut delivery exclusive. If you see nachos, you're in the wrong place. But also, it will list itself as Pizza Hut restaurant, and also on Uber Eats and stuff like that, you can click through and actually see the address. So you can double check, and I do urge
Mm,
you to do your research. Yeah.
yeah, okay, it's an important point. Thank you very much, Andrew. I've
By the way, can I just say what a joy it is to be two male comedians on a podcast saying the phrase "do your research" and it
mm,
not being about COVID or something. Um,
yeah. I just love the way this has turned into quite a serious BBC interview regarding what the communities need to look out for whilst they try and order a Pizza Hut. Um,
yeah.
yeah, it's maybe I'm doing the wrong thing. Maybe it should be some kind of business podcast about how do we help the mega rich owners and CEOs of massive multi kind of million and billion pound restaurants.
This is another problem that obviously I sort of am inherently anti-capitalism, and Pizza Hut is ultimately a business profiting off the the minimum wage labor of the workers, and also I believe the larger Pizza Hut entity is sort of globally ethically questionable with some of their investments and whatnot. Um, so I add all those caveats, but at the same time. I just love pizza. I
It's
love
good.
unlimited food, and I love a buffet experience. I have to put aside all of my moral, political, and ideological standings to just enjoy the salad
Uh,
bar as God intended.
everyone has a price
Yes,
on on their morals, and
and that price is 12 to 3 p.m. unlimited pizza.
for 17.99 unlimited refills. Uh,
Yes, yes, yes.
oh, Andrew, this is this. I just I love doing this podcast because I do little research into the topics we're talking about. Now, when it comes to buffets, I happen, as a larger gentleman, to have ample experience, good services, or what to expect, and what it is. And I thought, okay, yeah, we're going to talk a bit about buffets and like it's going to be ha 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 ha. But actually, this has been not only incredibly funny, but it's also been educational. I love
Mm.
your ideas around the strategy of going to Melbourne. And do you know what? I'm not going to remember how is it? And I love something that has already come out of it, but how do we make buffeteering, the buffet
Mhm.
experience, buffinage? I'm just throwing out some buffinage.
Okay.
Should we buffinage this evening, my darling? Um, how do we make it better?
Okay, so I think a lot of it is on personal approach, on your own preparation, on your own strategy. Obviously, restaurants have a part to play. I think affordability is very, very key. I think not having tiered pricing. I don't believe in this sort of like, oh, it's a surge time, so you've got to pay more nonsense. No, no, like the food it's cost you a certain amount. What you're completely just profiteering. And now look, businesses have to make money, but still, I think one flat price for your entire buffet. Drinks always refillable, that 100%. Um, you going in personally as a strategy, advocate for yourself, ask to be wherever is convenient. If you're in a global buffet and you know you're going to enjoy a lot of sushi or a lot of Indian food, or you're going to be more of a desserts person, ask to sit near those areas. You know, people
Hmm.
forget that they think that just because a waiter has a little notepad, that, but by the way, what a completely superfluous piece of kit at a buffet restaurant. You do not need that notepad. Just bring the plates. But just, you know, they don't have all the authority. You can ask to sit somewhere. So sit somewhere convenient. Don't get sat downstairs in the corner in the
Mm.
basement, right? Um, Noise cancelling headphones. I've had I did a Cosmo restaurant in Oxford with noise cancelling headphones, and I had the football stream playing in my ear just the entirety of my meal, and it was great. I fully recommend that. Ideally
That's a
solo.
game
So
changer.
again, yes, it really is. Solo removes the shame element of there's another person, unless you have somebody who is on your same wavelength. So be very
Mm.
selective about who you go to a buffet with. And I think strategize, you know, plan out, make, as you say earlier, sort of starting with the lighter stuff and building up. Don't waste your time on stuff you don't enjoy. And like, I know it's such a British thing, and indeed just like a good food etiquette thing to like finish your plate. Like it's never good to have food waste, obviously. But if you're not enjoying something, and this isn't just me being like, oh, get the best value out of the buffet, but also just in general, if you're not enjoying something, you don't have to force
Yeah.
yourself to finish it, right? If you're like, oh, I'm not sure about that, don't just, you know, force it down. A for your personal joy, but also B, buffet value is important to me. Um, and yeah, I just think have a good, constantly rotating selection. This is again on the restaurant now. Um, I don't, and yeah, desserts should be included as well because we all get to the end of a savory meal and want something sweet, even
Mm.
if it's just a little tiny chocolate. Yeah, I think that's the summary of most of everything. I hope
That's
that
the sum.
that all makes
No,
sense.
it does, and I do like how, well thought out the points of that answer was. Personally, I'm going for an official qualification or education system to be included,
Mhm.
and send your skinny mate in first to get a better table. That's what I've picked up in the last kind of 40 minutes. Oh,
Oh,
this stupid thing is, I could sit here and talk about buffets for so long. Like, people don't talk about buffets now, and that's another
mm,
reason why Pizza Hut, for example, could be, struggling at the moment because people don't. Because I think a lot of people think the word buffet is a dirty word,
mhm.
and if they go out for a meal, they expect to be wined and dined and have someone come over. Well, no, it's, yes, it's nice. If that's what you like, then enjoy that. Do that. That's fine.
Yeah.
But this is a country built on buffets for
Mhm.
centuries. Whether it's the home buffet, whether it's you got your party rings for a little party at home, there's always a buffet. You got your nibbles, right? A
Yeah.
selection of nibbles is a buffet. It's a nibble buffet. With like, don't disregard it just because someone's not coming over and saying, "Oh, what would you like to eat today?" Like, just go in there, get your hands dirty. I must
Yeah.
admit, I would really like a KFC buffet. I think it's about time. Now, my other worry about that is when I eat KFC, no one, no one should be around me because feral is probably the term. It's not pretty. I'm not ashamed of it. It's I get greasy, I get dirty. So a buffet is probably I would I'm married, but I wouldn't take a date there or like a business client. Not because it's a
Yeah.
KFC buffet, but because I revert into some kind of wild animal. But I do think it's
You've
about
taken
time.
three dates to a pizza buffet. Um,
with with success.
no, no, no. I think I did go with my current partner at some point, but he doesn't like cheese, so it was an almost exclusively for me experience. I know I've dropped that bombshell very late in the
That's
podcast.
Yeah, I'm not sure I could be in a relationship with someone who doesn't like cheese. Just It's just me though. So I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, thank you. Well, no, 'cause it's great because I go to pizza buffets on my own, and I
Oh
don't
yeah.
feel any guilt that he's not with me.
I mentioned earlier that me and my wife went on this cruise. It's our 20-year wedding anniversary. Like, we got
Yeah.
married early 20s. I am still very young. I promise. Um, she said So we have the breakfast buffet, and you've got your sausage, your bacon, tomatoes, mushrooms, the best kind of black pudding sausage or chip. It was crazy, like anger. Oh, anyway,
Ooh.
and I said, "Oh, you haven't got any bacon?" She was like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, no, but what? You haven't got any bacon? Oh yeah, well, I only really like it in a bacon sandwich. I'm like, wait, you don't like bacon? She says, no, I do. I like it in a bacon sandwich. It's not on my, like 20 years, and you're now telling me that you hate bacon. She's like, Jeff, I don't hate bacon. I will have a bacon sandwich, but I won't have it on a plate. To me, that's hating bacon, which for me is like it's a single the greatest food ever invented. And I'm finding out after 20 years of marriage on our cruise, to
Yeah.
celebrate this, that my wife, well, my whole relationship's been a lie.
I'm
I don't
so
know what to do
sorry,
now.
Jeff. First the haven't Pizza Hut, and now your entire marriage. It's
It,
heartbreaking.
it's this has been an emotional ride. We've covered some tough some tough discussions. Um, Andrew, purely for the fear of continuing to talk about buffets and
Mm,
enjoying it, may I add,
mm, mm.
well on into the early hours of the morning. Um, no, I think we've made it, but I've had an absolutely cracking time. I cannot thank you enough for coming on. Give us another quick roundup of your socials and where people can find you. And I beg anyone and everyone to just again hunt down Andrew White on through social media, but also for buying tickets to the show and
Thank you. Yes.
find where the closest place Andrew's going to be performing to you and go because seriously, you could be one of those people who really smugly says, "Oh yeah, I saw him." Before the fame and the glitz and the glamour when he was a regular person, um, or maybe not quite so
Thank you.
regular.
I this has been a joy, Jeff. I've absolutely loved it. Thank you for having me.
My
Yes, so
pleasure.
Stand Up Andrew is all my socials pretty much. Standupandrew.com is my website, and standupandrew.com/tour will be all my upcoming dates. I will be having Pizza Hut buffets in Faversham, Exeter, London, Brighton, Bristol, Birmingham, Manchester, Norwich, Portsmouth, Salisbury, and Bournemouth. So if you want to catch me lethargic after eating way too much pizza, but still putting on a good show, yeah, go to my website and come see me on tour. I'd really appreciate it.
Well, I can guarantee you'll have at least one ticket sold for Portsmouth because I'm going to be there, and I may even bring my wife if we're still together. Um, no, I wish you so much luck with the show with the Fringe. Now, obviously, this will be going out just after. So, hey, congratulations on such an amazing Fringe 5 days! Like,
Thank
it's
you. I know I
fantastic.
didn't even know a 6-star review was possible, but yeah, we had a really great time. Thank you.
But I wish you the absolute best of luck. Um, Everyone, thank you very much for listening. All there is for me to actually no, that's not all. I'm so bad at this, but it's like my own social medias. Like I was like, oh, you should
Yes, yeah.
like and subscribe and all that stuff. But if you do enjoy, I mean, again, I feel like buffet food is something which is not spoken about enough. So I'm going to try and edge it into every episode throughout season 3 as we go on this merry journey together. So do find there's Geoff Jones and Friends Make It Better on YouTube, Facebook. I think that's the same. I am still doing the Twitter, although
Yeah, Twitter is a hellhole. I've stepped
it
away from it.
is. The only
Yeah.
reason is because I actually have quite a large following on it and connections and stuff, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into whatever. But Instagram is yeah, Instagram and Twitter is at Better with Jeff, which sounds a little saucy, purely by accident and because Make It Better was taken. And Instagram is just generally me having conversations pretending to be my dog. Um, but it's a lot of fun. So yeah, do find me, like, subscribe, find Andrew, buy tickets to the tour. If you see him at a buffet, say hello, but be considerate. I think
Mm.
is yeah, is important. And all there is for me to do is so I've been your host, Geoff Jones. It's been an absolute pleasure. And it's goodbye from me. And it is goodbye from the wonderful Andrew White. Say goodbye, Andrew.
Goodbye.